What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. I just wanted to say about the late start that here's what happened. So I was pretty busy today. I had to do a few things, and when I went to go start the broadcast, you know how everybody receives a notification. It said that I had to do it 10 minutes in advance, so it kind of slipped my mind, and it was already 5:55, which is an angel number, which is a sign. Just in case you guys didn't know, whenever you see like a repeating number, they say that it can be two, but I really like to see it in threes and fours. So if it says 555 or if it says 5555, that's when I really know it's indisputable, because, you know, if two numbers are just stuck together, I feel like that can be misconstrued to be something else. So that was an angel number. So when I saw that, I said, all right, well, I guess it's meant to be that, Millie. 610 it is. So welcome everybody to the episode of Weeklydoseofdano TV. We do not have a guest for today, but that is a-okay, because I really like taking the time to talk to each and every one of you for today, and for everybody to talk in the comments as well, because I feel like this is when we really start to dive down to the personal stuff, and you guys can really get a glimpse inside of my mind and how I think, and I do the same for you guys, vice versa. I get to dive inside your minds and to see how you can think, and when we have thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. The shirt. Oh, everybody's loving the shirt for today. We got superheroes going on right here. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate it. Just to let you know, it's in Spanish as well. Oh, wait, sorry. So I guess you would have to see it like this. Yeah, so it's in Spanish, and I can't tell you guys where I got it from, because, you know, the drip is something that I like to keep to myself. But yeah, so sorry, Lou. I'll answer your question in 1 second. I'm just really excited to be here, and this is like literally the highlight of my week. So thank you guys for all coming in. Okay, so there's a few things that I want to talk to you guys about today, and one of the things I'm gonna get to, Lou, right here. Dano, talk to us about some of your grounding methods, which is a really, really great question, because not everybody gets to hear these type of things, and not everybody gets to experience these type of methods. So I'm just gonna tell you guys what works for me. In the meantime, while I'm going through everything else, if you guys can comment on Lou's question, tell us about some of your grounding methods. There's just a few things that I like to do, but first I got to get to what's on this page right here. So number one, I have a quick question for you guys, and I think I was driving by on the highway one day, and the question came to me. And this is going to sound like a weird question, but you know, you can really apply it to any company that there is out there. So as you guys are going through your grounding methods and typing that into the comments, I have a question for you guys as well. And here it is. Is McDonald's a bad company? And when I say bad company, do they act with malice? Okay. And this question came to me. I know it sounds like a random question, but hear me out. So McDonald's inherently, right, they sell burgers, they sell fries, they sell food, quote unquote food, because who knows what's really in it. And I got to thinking the other day, because I saw a comment on social media, and as I was driving by, I said, wow, that seems like a very powerful question. So inherently, yes, they sell burgers, but you know, are they a bad company because, one, they put a lot of stuff into their products that they know isn't healthy for the consumer? Two, you know, they sell it at such a low price that it really entices you to buy their product over anybody else's. And three, you know, you can also think about the way that they treat their employees, because we all heard stories about, you know, about people that work at McDonald's, and I feel like that gets passed on to the customer as well. Oh, the ice cream machine is broken. Well, if you're a manager, why don't you go fix it, or, you know, instruct your employees on how to fix it? But you know, that's really the bottom line, and I think this is the main question. There's a question inside of the question. So, is McDonald's a bad company? Yes or no? And who should we really reprimand when it comes to this? When it comes to like things like this, do we blame the consumer for purchasing the product? And you know, because we are giving them the spending power to be able to do that. As the customer, I do believe that we have the power to run companies out of business. All we have to do is just not buy their product. But you know, and that's one of the questions that I wanted to ask you guys. Are we to blame as the consumer, or is the company to blame for providing these quality products? So here we are. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate all of the comments. And here it is. So Laurie, you worked there for 11 years. So she actually does agree that McDonald's is a bad company. And, I'm pretty sure you have your horror stories and kind of your happy stories as well. But, that's really the question. Do we blame the company for providing it, or do we blame the consumer? Lou, I think so. They know what they're doing. Anything to save $1. I do agree with that as well. They know exactly what they're doing. I like their fries. Yeah, I do agree, Nancy. Their fries are fire. I think they're the best fast food fries. Like, if you were to take all the fries fresh out of the fryer, I think McDonald's would have the best ones. Sebastian, everyone has their agenda. However, where there's money, there's carelessness. That's definitely 100% true. I guess it's up to the higher ups to really determine if you're going to value the dollar over people's lives. The hamburgers don't get cooked all the way. They put them in the warmer, and then they're somewhat cooked. I'm going to finish the rest of that. That's not good. That's not, if you're not practicing these good habits, then definitely there's nothing that the consumer can do about that when it comes to purchasing their products. Ice cream machine is never down. Jeanette, I don't think they're a bad company at all. They're a quick fix. It's up to us to buy. Now, this is exactly the other side of the token or other side of the coin that I was talking about. It's now, the reason that I bring this up is because when it comes to the things that we do on a day-to-day basis, I feel like a lot of people like to place the blame on others. And sometimes we don't take accountability for our actions. I'm very lucky and very fortunate to have a team around me that, when I'm feeling a certain type of way, I go to them, because when you go to a third party to talk about your problems, you're not in the smoke and mirrors. You're having somebody from the outside looking in with the clear perspective to be able to give you an answer to the questions that you may have. Now, obviously, you should take everything with a grain of salt, and you should only trust certain people. So it's up to you to really find those people that you can really depend on and that you can trust. And I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I feel as though there's not everybody. There's really, really a small, minute number of people that you can actually trust. But once you do find those people, go try to see if you're looking at things in a neutral perspective, if you're not so invested and not so biased to really make certain decisions. So that was the question for the day. Should we blame the companies, or should we blame the consumer? Because you can take that for literally anything. You can take that for the pharmaceutical companies. You can take that for the clothing companies. How they manufacture their stuff. If you don't really agree with it, then you don't have to support it. And it's not right for them to try to save a buck either. But this can go on forever and ever. So that was just one of the questions. And I'm really loving the comments. Thank you so much, guys, for the engagement. It really means a lot, because I get to hear you guys' perspective on everything as well. Okay, so that's the number one. So now number two, I think today we're going to take it really in the positive talks. There are a couple quotes that I came across recently, and they were very, very profound. These are really hard hitters. And, really when I hear about a quote, I'll tell you guys straight up, that it sounds good, but does it really affect you? Yeah, it sounds sweet to the ears, but does it really hit your heart? Does it really hit your core? So I found two quotes. And the first one isn't really a quote, but the second one is just about something that's very hard hitting, and it really helps you put it into perspective. So this is the number one thing that we're going to do for today. We're going to talk about this quote because it really hit me like a ton of bricks when I really read this. Okay. So it says, day by day, nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different. All right. And I know at first glance, and then when you first hear it, you say, okay, I need a minute to think about this. So I'm going to say it again for you guys. Day by day, nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different. Now, this quote, I'm just going to sit right here while I leave it up on the screen for you guys. This quote is very, very profound. I know for me and my personal experience, my environment specifically, the car that I drive or the house that I live in, that, stuff like that hasn't changed exactly. Actually, we got everything remodeled and, things like that. But literally, when you're going through life and you're going about the day by day, living life day by day, nothing really changes. As soon as you start to think positive, and as soon as you start to take those steps in the positive direction for your life, you're not going to see changes immediately. But when you look back, everything is different. I can tell you at the height a year ago, that was when everything was locked down. So it was kind of the height of the pandemic. And nothing has really changed. Things have started opening up. The immediate environment that you're living in, that probably hasn't changed. But I can tell you, for me specifically, I am not the same person that I was literally 1 year ago. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, because it really puts everything into perspective. A lot of people want things right away. They want that instant gratification. Oh, but I've been working on this so hard, and I've been trying to change my mindset. Yeah, that is true. You probably are doing that, but you need to give it time. You need to trust in a higher power, the divine, the universe, whatever you choose to believe in. You need to trust that everything is going to be in that exact timing. And a big way to really try to help with that instant gratification, is you have to be grateful for what you have now. Because once you start to be grateful for what you have now, you're leaving room for the universe. All right, so when you have that attitude of gratitude, you're sending those higher vibrations out into the universe, and you're saying, okay, I have what I appreciate what I have now, I accept it. And you're bringing those positive emotions, and you're sending it out into the universe, so that when it comes back to you, it's tenfold. You're saying, okay, well, I can provide you with more money. I can provide you with higher opportunities, because you are ready and you are grateful. So thank you guys for all the comments. You guys are just flooding me. I love it so much. And I love to hear all of your different ideas. So this is really, really amazing. Hello to everybody watching live, or if you're watching on the replay, don't be afraid to share it. Please leave your comments, because this is going to be a very interactive session for today. So, yeah. So let's talk about, that's why that quote is very, very impactful. I hope you guys are in the same direction. I hope you guys are going towards that positivity. I hope you guys are surrounding yourself with positive people, that you're limiting the type of media that you see, because I'll tell you guys, ever since birth, we're programmed to think a certain way. The TV shows that we watch while we're young, the media that we consume, the environments that we're born into, the people that we surround ourselves with, all of this stuff is really working against you if you don't have the proper, awareness in order to limit what you do watch. I know that's why with social media, whenever I'm on like a positive post, or I see a post about a book or something that I want to stay on, leave a comment on there, because I don't know if you guys know, but once you comment and like certain pictures, you're just going to keep receiving more of that. So if you leave a comment on something that's negative, or you like negative pictures, you're only going to receive more of that. And that works not even just the social media realm, but just everyday realm as well. Whatever you think about, you really do attract. So, okay, so that was the first one. Now it's time to move on to the second quote. And it's not really a quote. It's just to really change your perspective on things that you might be going through. I really love all of you guys too. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sending you guys the best energies, the most positive energies your way, because I'm reciprocating the love. I love you guys as well. And I really do mean that. I just, it's kind of hard to really put it into words, the amount of love that I have for you guys, because you guys have supported me every step of the way. And without you guys, none of this would be possible. With the constant tuning in, with the constant love and the support, and the spamming and the sharing of just all this positivity, it really means a lot. And I'm just so happy that I can reciprocate it to you guys as well. All right, so here's the second one. So it's going to be about timing, and it's going to be about perspective. So the importance of each and every one of these time frames is really going to hopefully change your guys' perspective for today, and hopefully going forward about life. So what's the importance of 1 millisecond? In order to find that out, why don't you ask somebody that was in the Olympics, whether it's a sprinter and they lost by 1 millisecond. Why don't you go ask them to see what the importance of 1 millisecond is? What's the importance of 1 second? Ask somebody that was driving down the road and they missed that accident by 1 second. Go ask them the importance of 1 second. 1 minute. Ask somebody that just missed the train. What if there's somebody in Philadelphia, New York, wherever you are in the world, that you just arrived, or you just woke up for your day, and you're starting out on a late day, and it's your first day on the job, or you have a job interview that you need to get to by train, and you missed the train by 1 minute. Go ask them what the importance of 1 minute is. 1 hour. Imagine there's somebody out there probably right now that's waiting on a date. They just set up a date, and what if the person that waits 1 hour, they end up they might be stood up, or the person does show up after an hour. But ask them the importance of what that 1 hour meant to them. One day, ask somebody who's starving and can't get access to food like the way you and I can. Ask that person what one day was like, how long that really felt to them when they couldn't afford the food that they wanted, or they couldn't get the water that they needed to. And you know what? Before I even continue, because I do have a few more, you can't get that minute back. You can't get that millisecond, that second, that minute, that day, that hour, that day, that year. You can't get this back. So this is why time is no joke. Time waits for no man. And when you really think about the grand scheme of things, all right, so I'll tell you guys, I just found this out yesterday. Actually, I found this out today. The average lifespan of any adult, anybody in the US, is 78 years old, right? That's it, 78 years. And that's just the average. Some go later, some go sooner, but let's just take 78. When you compare 78 years to an eternity, to the entire spectrum of time, think about how small, how minute, how small 78 years is compared to an eternity. Why would you waste any second of that not doing the things that you want to do, not working at the job that you want to work at, not having a family that you don't want to have, not experiencing life to the fullest? 78 years on average. That's why I don't understand how people can just let the days go by. And that used to happen to me at the height of the pandemic. I already told you guys, like, I would sit at home and I would sleep for really, really, really long periods of time. And thankfully, I didn't waste the entire time when it came to the pandemic. But, it's just wasted time that I wish I did have back. But, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have been able to recognize that I was wasting so much time. And, sorry, I just read you guys' comments as they come along, and sometimes they distract me a little bit. But time waits for no man. We need to make the most of the time in our lives. As humans, we do waste a lot of our time. And that is so, so, so true. One of the biggest things, if you do feel as though you're procrastinating or you're wasting time, is you need to do a time audit. Take an average day of your life, one day on the weekend, maybe one day during the week, and do a time audit. Literally go hour by hour. If you wake up at 7 in the morning and you go to sleep at 12 at night, take an hour. Go down, write it in your journal, write it in your notebook. An hour by hour, what do you do every day? And you will find that, I know I found this because I did it for myself. I can say it to you like this. I was wasting more time in a day when I was awake than for things that I was doing in a productive manner. And it wasn't until then that it really was a big reality check. It's just like, wow, like, why would I just spend all this time doing the things that I don't want to do and just to waste this time? Like, every day that we wake up, we don't choose who wake up and says, hey, listen, I want to waste time today. I want to be mediocre today. No, every time that we wake up, it's to be great. It's to do the things that we want to do. If we want to change the world, we're not going to do it in our sleep. We have to take action on it. If we want to help out the world, if we want to make $20 million, if we want that nice car, if we want that nice body, you have to get up and you have to go take that action. There's so many things by taking action in the positive manner that is going to happen for you. When it talks about taking that action, you're quantifying that energy and you're sending it out into the universe, and you're proving to everybody that you're really about it. You're proving to the universe that, hey, listen, I said I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do, and I'm going to achieve all of my goals and all of my actions. And hello, Dominique. Here's a great one. It's to find ourselves and find our purpose. So once you start to do the little things right, you know, you're going to be able to handle the bigger things, and it's not going to seem as daunting, and it's not going to seem as hard as you might think it may be, because a lot of the time we do make up these scenarios in our head about what could go right and what could go wrong, and then we start to really focus on that, and that's an overwhelming feeling. When we go into the experience or into the opportunity with a clear and open mind, and knowing that you're going to get through whatever it is that's thrown at you at that time, because number one, God's not going to throw anything. I believe in God, so God's not going to throw anything in your direction that you can't handle. And number two, every moment of your waking life, ever since you were born, was to prepare you for that moment. So you have all these years of experience behind you. So there's really no reason to be scared of certain situations and certain events, because everything is a lesson or a blessing, as you guys already know, as we always talk about on the show. And this is a great question that I always ask myself every morning. What are you doing with your life today? And a lot of people, they really don't like to ask themselves these, and that really is a simple question. And I feel like the most simplest questions that we can ask ourselves are the hardest ones to answer, because it takes a lot of self-awareness and it takes a lot of self-honesty in order to answer these questions. So if you guys didn't already think about some of these things, you guys really take life by the balls and just say, yo, I'm going to get after it. Like, no excuses. Your life can change within 6 months. If you take 6 months to really focus on an idea that you have, that's all it takes. 6 months. That's really not that bad. That's maybe that's half the year. And I'm telling you guys, once you get into by the 3rd month of just that complete focus and locked in, it's going to become a habit for you guys. And then soon it's not even going to feel like work at all. You're going to be able to just knock out the things that you want to do. And then once you start to take care of these things that you need to take care of in the beginning, more opportunities and more solutions are going to come about into your everyday life. So, and I think the last one, sorry, there were still more of them, but I just had to let you guys know about what it really is. It really is simple. So stop overcomplicating everything and start living the life that you want to today. And it's not just fluff. We give you every week, we tell you about people. They come onto the platform, they share their stories about their most trying times and what they're doing today and how happy they are and on what their life experience is. So if you guys think that this is all mumbo jumbo and fluff, you can go and not take my word for it, but the countless guests that I've had on the show that are living their life to the fullest. And that's really why I really do love having this platform for you guys, because everybody gets to learn. The guests, when they come on, they get to learn about themselves. The viewers, you get to learn about somebody else's journey and how it resonates with you and different solutions you can find. For me, I know I learn something every week about myself and about the guests and about life just in general. So why would you it's just a bonus. It's just a positive thing on every aspect of life and anything that you can think about. So this is why I really do love sharing this time with you guys. And it's only an hour of your time. It's really not that much, especially when you're using it to benefit yourself and for the positive as well. All right, so let me finish this. Sorry. So, and I've been told many times that I have to stop saying sorry, because it is my show and I can do whatever I want on here. So, when I say sorry, it's not really sorry. It's like it's time to move on to the next thing. Okay. So one day, ask somebody who's been hungry for a day, and they'll tell you what the value of one day is. 1 week. Ask somebody who's been admitted to the hospital for 1 week what the importance of 1 week can make and what the difference can really make. 1 month. Imagine if you're working at your employer or if you're working for yourself, and all right, let's just say your employer, and they don't pay you for last month's work. You know what I mean? Then you're really going to start to see the value of 1 month, especially when it's hurting the pockets. You know what I mean? And Shout out to my man, J.R. Reed. J.R., I haven't seen you in a minute. What's been going on with you, brother? This guy, if you don't know J.R., you guys really should get to know him. He is the man. He's taught me so many things about positivity and just about the life of somebody that's different, from a different perspective than I have. And JR, man, you've taught me a lot. So I'm so happy to see you here today. My guy, I know you've been having some tough moments, some tough times. So we can send some love to JR Reed for today. That would be most amazing. And he would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. And as we already know, what you put out into the universe is what you're going to receive. So can we please show some positive energy to my man, JR? Because I miss you, man. I got to get on the phone with you, actually. I'll call you. And I know we have a meeting for tomorrow, but I just wanted to say what's up with him and to give him his props and his credit. All right. So 1 month is the 1 month salary. Like, if you don't get paid for a month and it starts to hurt your pockets, then you're really going to start to see the value of 1 month. And then finally, 1 year. Ask somebody who's failed, who's tried a business for 1 year and they have failed. Ask them the importance and the value and the knowledge that they gained in that year. So with all of that being said, there is one theme to all of those different time frames to each and every one of them. And the lesson or the message that I want to get to you guys is this. Be thankful. Be thankful for literally every waking moment that you get, because every time you wake up, that is a chance to change your life. That is a chance to change the lives around the world. And that is the chance to go out and accomplish your goals and dreams. Guys, we only have a certain amount of time on this planet. So please, let's not waste it. We have lives to change. We have mouths to feed. We have people to impact. We have goals that we want to achieve. There's so many things. And even though everybody's goals may be different and everybody's accomplishments may come at different times and points of life, please be supportive of one another and please be thankful, because every time that we look at this 1 second, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, it's an opportunity to see the different things that we probably could have changed on in our lives, and just to show the blessings that came about during these years and these times and these seconds. So here we are. Let's see. Appreciate and wisdom, no problem. And I really love dropping the golden nuggets only for you guys, and you guys are only going to find that here. So thank you guys seriously for all the comments and all the love and all the support, and whatever I got to do to support you guys. Whether it's bringing on the fire guests, whether it's having these one-on-one moments with you guys, I just love it. I really do. So right now we're going to take a quick commercial break. There's also one thing. All right, I'll just show you guys after the break. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. If you know anybody that needs to see this positivity in this world, in this collective mind of the negative, of the fear, of the lack in any capacity, share this message, because this is the stuff that people need to see, especially nowadays. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, wait, wrong thing. All right, now it is. everybody. The positivity hasn't gone anywhere. We just needed to hear a quick word from our sponsors. Thank you to the sponsors for sponsoring the show. So I wanted to show you guys one video, and you guys get to get a little sneak peek of what's going to be going on for next month, the month of July, as far as the Weekly Dose of Dano TV. There was a promo video that I made, and it's through the. So if you guys didn't already know, as long as Lauren Michaels Harris are the owners of the Electric Revival Media. You guys just saw it in the bumper that I just played for you guys. So if you guys needed any work or anything like that, please don't be afraid to reach out. Here you can reach us out, or reach out to us right here, doseofdano@gmail.com. Oh, and I forgot my positivity posse. How can I forget to put the banner up for our positivity posse? So I wanted to let you guys know, spam those hearts, because you guys are part of the posse, and nobody can stop us, man. We're unstoppable. Okay, so let me go back to my original point. So through the Electric Revival digital media content creation, I created a video next month just to show you guys a little glimpse of what we're going to do. It's a little sneak peek. You get a little preview before it goes out to the masses. That next month is going to be solely dedicated to the service members of the United States, because without all of their sacrifices, hard work, and just their courage, we wouldn't be where we are today. And that's one of the things that really gets overlooked. And I know the 4th of July, obviously, it's all about independence and about freedom, but why limit it to just one day? So for Weekly Dose of Dano, we're going to be featuring all the service members for next month. So if you guys know of anybody that wants to be on the show for next month, and I'll give you a little disclaimer right now. There's only 5 Thursdays in a month, so I can't feature everybody, unfortunately. But here's a little promo video that I came up with next month. Let me know what you guys think. I know this thing's fire. You're going to say it's fire too, so I can't wait to see all the positive comments. And let me know what you guys think. I have to tweak a little bit of the verbiage, but here's just a general overview of the video. Are you guys ready? Should I throw on the countdown video? No, I'll just count down. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of fire that you're going to get with the Electric Revival Media Company. So, and honestly, let's not lose sight of what's really important. I don't think that we should ever forget. We should never forget about the service that they provide for us. We should never, seriously, every day, if you see a service member, why not buy their cup of coffee in front of you if they're in front of you, and do something nice? Not even, I just don't even know. I can go in a million different directions. But honestly, guys, seriously, if you know of a service member, just give them thanks. It doesn't have to be on the 4th of July, or it doesn't have to be on Memorial Day or Veterans Day. It can be any day of the year. While, yes, we do take those days to celebrate all of their hard work and their sacrifices and their courage, it should be an everyday thing. And the same thing goes with, the thing that comes to my head is J.R. Reed, man. With Autism Awareness Day, why does it have to be a day? It should be every day, celebrating all of these peoples and these different perspectives, and it's just amazing. So thank you guys for all of the positive words. Like I said, I have to change a few. It's just really the verbiage. There's some technicalities that I wanted to change in there, because some things can be a little bit too wordy. But that's what's going to be going on next month. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate all of the warm wishes, and I send you guys all the best energies right back, right through the camera stream, wherever you're watching. You're watching in the living room, you're watching on a bench, you're watching on a chair, you're watching on the toilet. It doesn't matter. I'm going to send you guys the best and most positive energies possible. Okay. So, yeah. So there was also one story that I wanted to share with everybody. before we get off. Positivity Posse, positivity. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. You guys make this show, and you guys are the reason why I just love to do what I do so much. And okay, so here it is. I don't think I've ever shared this story with you guys before, but here it is. So last night, I was sitting in my room, and I just started to think about a few things. And there was one story in particular that hopefully this should give you some motivation in order to not really care about what anybody says. So I believe it was back in October when the first episode of Weeklydoseofdano started, and it's nowhere. The first episode is nowhere where it is today. But every week and every episode and every opportunity and every blessing has been wonderful, because if it wasn't for all of that, then we wouldn't be here today. So the first guest that I ever reached out to was, I forget his name exactly, but he was a little kid and he was about 8 years old. His name is Mateo. I remember it now. He would run races for people, for kids with cancer, and to help them out, and he would donate all the winnings and all the money that he raised to help out all the kids with cancer. So I reached out to him, or I reached out to his dad, and I was like, hey, listen, I found your page, I found your story through like Fox News or some type of major news media, and I was wondering if you can come on the show and to talk about your experience and to everything that we talk about on the show anyway. So I received a message back from him, and it's not verbatim what I'm about to tell you, but it basically was this. He says, man, it's not really a TV show. We don't really want to waste his time coming on the show if you're not established. This, and that. A bunch of noise that I really wasn't expecting to hear on my first time ever. So the reason that I'm sharing this story with you is this. Number one, if you believe in yourself, who cares what anybody else thinks? When people have a different view of the world and a different opinion of everything that's going on, a lot of people like to cast them out as being, different, as being weird, this or that. That's not always the case. You should never judge a person on what they have going on the outside, the number of views that they might be receiving or getting, the number of comments, how they're dressed. How about you start judging people about what's on the inside, what they're talking about, how they're speaking, what their message is, what their energy is like. So I just wanted to share that with you because, one, that was the first time that I've ever reached out to anybody. And the very first time that happened, I got rejected. He said, no, basically, you're not big enough. So that has been always one of the whys, one of the driving factors that I have with doing this show and making it the biggest that it can be. Because nobody's going to stop what we're started. Nobody's going to stop the Positivity Posse. And we're going to grow this to the best and that it can possibly be. Exactly. Lou, you said it best right here. I could have quit right there. I could have been like, wow, everybody else is going to say the same thing to me. My confidence is shot. I don't even believe in myself. But you know what? I'm going to say it for what it is. I said, no, fuck that. I said, I'm going to continue to do what I know is true. I have lives to change. I have people to touch. People are going to touch me along this journey. Not like that. People are going to touch my soul along this journey as well. But yo, do not let anybody stop you. Why are you going to listen to all these people when the collective mind, I already told you, is lack of finances, lack of resources, fear, negativity. That's what the collective group is. That's what the collective mind. If you look at all the billions of people out there, let's look at it for what it is. Let's call it what it is. We're going to call a spade a spade. A lot of people out there don't have the mindsets that we have and the Positivity Posse have. So it's up to us to think at that higher level, and don't listen to people that don't have what you want anyway. If you want a Lamborghini, right, why are you going to listen to somebody that has a 1998 Honda Civic that has 500,000 miles? Obviously, that's an exaggeration, 300,000 miles. But, there's nothing wrong right? There's nothing wrong with them. If that's what you want, that's what you got. But I want this. I want the highest things that the world has to offer. I want the most lavish life that's possible, because you know what? Not to be vain, not to do it from a place of ego, because that's what I want. And if that's what I want, what does that have to do with you? Why are you going to try to put me down? Because that's everything that I want. And don't let, if there's just something that you want, don't let anybody tell you, oh, you can't have that. Or if you have that, then you're a bad person. Or if you want this, then you're not operating with blah, 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 blah. Shh, shh, shh. Take that energy, throw it at the sun, you burn it, you throw it out the window. Get that away from me. Because somebody that's always doing better than you, they're never going to ridicule you. They're never going to make fun of you. It's always the people that are at the bottom that are going to try to deter you. It's jealousy. That's definitely one of the things, one of the primary reasons that people do that. You know, they know within themselves that they're not going to get everything that they want. So then they start to be jealous about you. Never listen to negative words from anybody, and you shouldn't. If somebody throws negative words towards you or negative energies, you know exactly what you do. You imagine that you're holding up a mirror to that person. Because as we already know, as we always talk about on the show, everything that people talk about, everything that people say is a reflection of themselves. So if they say, yo, you're never going to be anything in this world, what you do is you hold up that mirror and you just flash it right back on them. Because one, when you flash it right back on them, that's what they're doing anyway. You know what I mean? Whatever people say is a reflection of themselves. So you're showing them their reflection in the mirror. Yo, why are you acting this way? You have this negative energy. I want you to take a good hard look at yourself and really think, is this the type of person that you want to be? So one, you reflect that back at them. And two, when you deflect it back at them, it can't come within your space. You really have to do everything to guard your mental toughness and to guard your mental world and everything inside of you. That's another thing too. Misery loves company. A lot of people are going to try to bring you down because they don't have everything that they want for themselves. Nobody wants to be miserable alone. That's why they always say, yo, what are you doing? You want to come with me? You want to try this or that? And, you know, something that they shouldn't be trying. So yeah, there's just so many things that I have written down on here that I actually didn't even get to talk about. But that's great because everything that you've heard was from the heart and everything was on the fly. And everything that you hear about on the show is everything that I talk about in person too. So it's one and the same. So I'm just happy that, you know, that you guys are here right now and that you're hearing all this positivity and that we're in a community right now, whether it's in the comments, whether it's the viewers, the people that, shout out to the people that don't even comment and that they're watching. I know you're here. I know you're experiencing all this great love and this positivity. So you're part of it too. You know, so everybody, just thank you so much. Shoot, I forgot what I was going to say, but you know what? We're going to move on to the next thing because I know we only have a few minutes left. So this is what we're going to do. There's two parts to your mind when you're going on for the rest of your week that I want you to really think about and up until next week. Because next week, oh my God, you guys aren't even ready. Next week, we have James Phelps and Marty Martinez. They have their own show with Lounge with Legends, and that show is going to be absolutely amazing. And that's going to kick off the July special. So that's for next week. So up until that point for next week, I want you guys to think about this. The conscious mind has four functions, right? There's attention, there's reasoning, there's decision, and there's imagination. Number one, attention. You really need to think about the things that you're focusing on a day-to-day basis. Wherever attention goes, energy goes. Wait, all right, here it is. Wherever attention goes, energy flows. So when you're spending all of this energy on these negative things, catch yourself, say, listen, whoa, I don't want to think about that. So let it exit your mind and come back to the things that you know that you want to do and the person that you know that you want to be. So wherever attention goes, energy flows. So that's the first thing of the conscious mind. It has four functions. Number two, reasoning. Now, a lot of people start to justify the behaviors of others because just because you know where the source of their negative behaviors comes from doesn't mean that it's okay. And a lot of people, when they're starting a new project or when they're starting a new idea, they start to reason and they start to use logic in their conscious mind to think about what could go wrong And we got to flip that. We got to think about what can go right, what opportunities can come from this. How is this going to open the new doorway until my next step to receive everything that I want? And how can I level up? What lessons can I learn from this? So when it comes to reasoning, make sure that you're teaching, that you're using positive self-talk and you're asking yourself the right questions as far as reasoning. Number 3 is the decision. Now, when you make a decision, you have to go with what your gut and what your intuition tells you. You can't be listening to all these other people that are negative Nancy's. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't get different perspectives from everybody. But when you make a decision, make sure that you're making that decision based on your gut feeling and what you know is right. No matter, eliminate all of that other fluff from the world, all the noise. Channel that within yourself and talk to yourself. And number 4 is imagination, which is called abstract thinking. So basically, it's creating an idea or an image in your head about what's not really there. So like, if a person is dressed a certain way and you start to have these preconceived ideas about what they might be or what they might talk about, that's abstract thinking because you're trying to form something that's not really there. So that's why I should never judge a book by its cover, because people surprise you left and right. And don't be naive. You have to read the signs to see what this type of person is like. But, those are the 4 things. The conscious mind has 4 functions: attention, reasoning, decision, and imagination. Now, I'm going to leave you one more thing before we go because we only have 1 minute. Expose your conscious mind to a wide variety of info, experiences, and challenges. Because when you start to do that, you'll start to solve problems quicker because you've already been in that experience and you've already heard other people's experience on maybe the same subject. And you'll start to see opportunities quicker that you can jump on and that you can expand on. So always put yourself in the most uncomfortable situations. Don't be, I'm gonna tell you right, don't be stupid. You know what's stupid and you know what's uncomfortable. Because it's in this uncomfortability that you start to learn more about yourself and everything around you, and you'll start to be able to see different opportunities and experiences. Think about, I know salesmen specifically, if somebody says no to them, they'll say, okay, what could I have done in that reflection process? What could I have done better in order to avoid that no answer? So when they put themselves in these opportunities, in these uncomfortable situations, they start to learn from it. And that's how they become a better salesman. And when it comes to yourself, always make sure that you're reflecting and that you're really taking the time to figure out what you want to do in this life and to figure out if you're on the right path or not. So that's all for today, everybody. I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming on, for sharing an hour of your time, for sharing your comments, your positive energy with everybody that may have needed it for today. And I just want to thank you guys. I mean, what more is there to say? I got my positivity posse with us. Everybody, this is a type of a community where if you see somebody in the comments, you can just always reach out to them and spread the positivity, because I want to be able to help you guys as much as possible. And if you see somebody else that's in the comments that, can help you in that regard as well, don't be afraid to reach out to each other. And if there's somebody in the comments that doesn't belong here, if you're trying to reach out to them and they respond a certain way, let me know, because that's not what we stand for over here. And I don't want that around us as well. So thank you guys so much for everything for today. I will see you guys next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Like I said, it's going to be service members theme, and James and Marty. Oh my God. If you guys haven't checked out an episode of Lounge with Legends, go check them out because their show is very, very incredible. And I'm just so happy that I was able to share this with you guys. So take that going into the weekend. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Go spend time with some family. Go do the things that you know that you were meant to do, and stop wasting time will be the top piece of advice. Stop wasting time. And I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano. Peace.